Hello everybody, my name is Poison Nucky, and today we're going to have another Total War Warhammer 2 video, and today I will be playing as the Lizard Man, and my opponent will be the Mighty Forces of Chaos. Now let's go over my army introductions. Now over here I'm going to choose a rather low skill, to be completely honest. Fairly typical Temple Guard Lord Kroak build. So 3 units of Temple Guard, one of being the Star Chamber Guardians, which are the Guardian version. They have plus 15% damage resistance, physical damage resistance for heroes and lords. In this case will be Lord Kroak. Lord Kroak has the ability called the Deliverance of Itza. And that means all infantry in a circle pretty much die. And all enemy infantry. They don't hit friendly infantry. That's what makes it so fantastic of nuking large blobs of infantry. Now in the back line here, I'm going to have 3 units of red crested skinks, armor piercing and poison damage. Very good at slowing down the advances of the enemy forces. Essentially, the only way to kill these things quickly are with Forsaken. And you'll see the enemy composition soon enough. And I'm going to bring the cohort of Sotek, which is going to be the unbreakable version. Really great. They deal damage no matter what. It's just probably one of the most cost-efficient units in the Lizardman roster as of now. And, of course, going to have to bring the Mighty Feral Carnosaur, just so good against everything large. Shaggoths, trolls, except most people don't bring trolls. Mainly the Shaggoths, now that I think about it. Feral Carnosaur will do very well against that. Now, my Mighty Lord in the Sky is going to be Tiqtaqto, the meme pterodon rider himself. Look at his fantastic little skinkiness. He's going to be a very good lord at fighting other air lords. I bring him along just in case they bring some sort of air superiority build, which is really rare for Chaos. But when someone brings it, it can really throw you off. If they bring a Chaos Dragon or Manticores, Tiqtaqto will destroy them. You think, oh, wow, look at his stats. His stats are like 55, 50, which are pretty good stats, actually. But 350 strength, like, it's not amazing. But when you actually factor in his buffs and the combination of this other regiment of renown, the Colossodon Hunters. These are the Ripperdactyl riders that are anti-large. Normal ones are anti-infantry, and that's what makes this one so fantastic. They kill other air units, except like Fellbats, very, very well. And they have this ability called Toad Rage, which puts them in a rampage. But look at that stat bonus, plus 40% armor piercing and weapon damage. There's really no, like, very few units can beat this air unit in a one-on-one fight. Now, with that out of the way, let's introduce the Chaos Army. A very bland army, to be completely honest. Front line of Chaos Warriors, which are a good choice. Chaos Warriors are very good for the cost. 750 for the amazing stat line of 3644 and 100 armor with shields. Very good. 2 units of Chaos Warriors with great weapons. Very effective at fighting Saurus or even Temple Guard, so that's a very nice pick. And he's choosing 2 units of Chaos Warriors with halberds on the flank. Now, that's a lot of infantry. That's like, while he does have a little bit of everything, he has no real way. He has no mobility, in other words. And he, in the backline, he does choose the Mighty Chosen, like the Mighty. Look at those. I love Chosen. They're probably one of my favorite units in the game, although they may not be. They're very expensive. They may not be cost efficient. They're just so cool. And he's going to have another unit of Chosen with great weapons. Probably the second best infantry unit in the game, right behind the Crimson Killers. And the Lord he brings is going to be the Mighty Kolek Sun Eater. I just used him in the last replay I posted. Everybody loves Kolek. He's just a powerhouse. You just feel badass using him. And the little odd pick of today's army is going to be the Hell Cannon. Now, usually when I choose a Hell Cannon, I full commit. I get the Soul of Damnation. But this normal Hell Cannon will get the job done. And look at those Chaos Dawi doing their job. And let's see how it's really effective against infantry. And against my build, if I don't move up as quickly as possible, the Hell Cannon will start racking in a lot of damage. Now with those armies introduced and out of the way, let's get into the replay. Now first thing I notice, and the most dangerous thing I notice, is that Hell Cannon. I book my units forward. Like, you can see my little yellow lines. Everybody charge. We need to reduce the damage from the Hell Cannon. Oh, God. 4. Look, how many was that? That was 4 Temple Guard. 4. That's 4 out of 75. That's very, very dangerous. Don't want that to happen again. So I send Tiqtaqto over, and I send my Dactyls to make sure this never happens again. Well, it actually doesn't turn out to make it sure it never happens again, but it delays the attack. My opponent does respond in kind and sends in Kroak, which is a very bad thing for me, so I just push through. Ripper Dactyl Riders have much more mass than they seem. Like, they look flimsy, but they push through infantry with no problem, and most of them get back into the air. I believe I'm going to lose one model here. Yep, and that's what happens when you fight Kroak. Losing one model, and look, this is the second shot, and I'm already advancing as far as I can. Oh, another really good shot into my Temple Guard, which will be not great, and I'm going to get a little send. I'm stopping here as I reorganize my front line, and I will be engaging him in mortal combat. The frontline engagement goes well, and my flyers are going to be just observing quietly as the fighting goes on. I'm going to try to get a little flank here. Make sure the red-crested skinks are all get around the corners. And I did have a unit of feral cold ones. I had a little bit of extra money. They're going to just try to get the nice little wraparound. And over here, Lord Kroak is going to do well. I get him a little bit out of formation. He's going to get jumped on by Kroak Sun Eater, and he does a lot of damage. So what I do here is I use the Supreme Shield of the Old Ones, and that means everybody in this little circle here is going to take 44% less damage. That's fantastic. I'm going to use my Teardown Riders. I'm going to pop the Toad Rage, so increase 40% damage all across the board, and the Carnosaur is going to go into this monster mash. It's the dinosaurs versus the dragon ogres, with some supporting Temple Guard too. Now over here on the flanks, I'm going to have, well, not the flank, but the back line, I'm going to have Lord Kroak. I did a misplay here, guys. He got isolated. I moved him. I'm not sure where. I must have given him an attack order, like somewhere that's on the routing Chaos Warriors or something, but he is not in a great position. But I'm going to use the Deliverance of Itza on these infantry units, and look at this damage. It never gets old for me. One little spell, and half the health of a Chaos Warrior unit just gone. Fortunately for me, Lord Kroak has very high mass, and getting him stuck is quite challenging. So I'm going to use Tiqtaqto here, make sure kind of break the little formation. Tiqtaqto is just a fantastic unit. Look, he's going to have a little fun animation here. Look, he brings one of them. Oh, God. And he literally drops one of the Chaos units. And I'm going to have another Deliverance of Itza. Such a fantastic. I love this build. Now over here, I'm going to make sure the Carnosaur shuts down this Hell Cannon. I cannot have any more casualties made by this devastating artillery unit. And Lord Kroak, unfortunately, is going to say hello to the afterlife. Well, more than he already is. I believe he has a very unique animation when he dies. Very close to dying. Now over here on the far flanks, my Ripper Dactyl Riders are going to make sure Kroak routes from the battlefield. I'm going to use another Toad Rage, make sure he leaves. And it's very, the death can happen at any time now. Oh no. He's going to get one last spell cast off. And he rises to the heavens. Oh, that last spell cast goes off and he rises back to the start, the warp. Come back. All right. And with those spells casted and used, actually the bounce power did go in my opponent's favor for a small amount of time, but after the uses of the Deliverance of Itza and the destruction of the infantry units, it's very fairly in my favor. Kroak routes off the battlefield with my Colossadon Riders. Only 2 models left. My God. Fantastic unit, though. Taking out the enemy general. And there's really only one unit of Chaos Halberds on each flank, and the unbreakable unit of Hell Cannon, Chaos Dawi. Now I'm just a terror route goes off with the Feral Carnosaur, and it's essentially just cleanup here. Yes, Unholy Resilience by the lizards, getting smacked by little hammers. Snack. All right, and that spells the end of this replay, essentially. I believe there's just another little... All right, we can get you. We can speed that up. Goodbye, little Chaos Dawi. I really liked this game because a lot of people complain how, like, oh, man, strategy games are so hard, especially Total Warhammer 2. It's like, oh, it's so complicated. Like, you have to move flanks. You see, I tell people, like, all right, if you have a hard time with micro issues, that's fine. But people, it's hard. It takes a while to learn any game, essentially, but there's always builds out there that are very new player friendly, and I think this is one of them. So if you have a friend, or maybe even you are having troubles with like micro issues, moving a lot of units, just use the Lord Kroak Temple Guard build. There's many variations of it. Just throw Lord Kroak and a bunch of infantry, and as long as they don't have too many projectiles, if you do get projectiles, by the way, use the Regiment of Renowned Spearmen Saurus unit. They have like a projectile parry ability. Very fantastic. But out of the way, very well. Skink cohort 6731 as they are armor piercing. 42 like Temple Guard are amazing. While they may be anti-large, they're good against everything. Like they say specifically they're halberd infantry, but they do so well against infantry units. 16 kills on Feral Cold Ones. Didn't expect too much. Colossus Hunters, along with Tiqtaqto, taking out Kolek Sun Eater. Not a lot of people know that how powerful this combination of Lord and Regiment of Renown, but I feel like it's very underrated. And of course, the Feral Carnosaur doing what every Feral Carnosaur does, just terror routes everybody. Not many kills, but he did his job, and a fantastic one at that. I liked my opponent's choice, though, he had a very open build. 3 units of this just in case I go for like a heavy skink. 2 units just to go for a heavy saurus. 2 units of this for the heavy dinosaur. And the chosen, I wouldn't have chosen like I wouldn't have chosen the normal sword and shield chosen. Those are rarely effective unless you're fighting a faction like maybe the Beastmen. So, but I do like the choice of the chosen with great weapons. Now, I've seen the Hell Cannon work, and it's just unfortunate that I had flyers that could disrupt it. But yeah, Hell Cannon all the way. I like the choice of Hell Cannon, and it's a really nice pick. Good game to you, Mr. Payeka. And that will be ending this video. Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe if you want more. I'll catch you guys later.